Hi everyone, my name is Gordon and you're watching my most requested live AskAnythingChat. I want to thank Romeo and iHeartRadio for having me, and I want to thank all of you guys who sent in questions. My new song is called Chains, and let's get started. So my first question is from Tracy from Boston, Massachusetts. Can you pronounce your full name with the proper hometown accent? Thanks. Yes, I am from New York and my name is Sydney Gordon. Anton from New York City. What aspects of your musical journey are you enjoying most so far? For example, recording in the studio, writing new songs, performing live. I think honestly, I love every part, if I'm gonna be completely honest. I mean, recording in the studio, I've been doing a lot of lately, so maybe I'm leaning towards that a little bit more for the time being right now. But I just think it's the best feeling when you listen back to something that you heard exactly in your head, and it's a really proud moment, I think. And at times it can be frustrating if you have a vision in your head and you're not hearing it exactly how you want it to, but once you finally get it, it's the best feeling. So I think I would say recording, but I do love writing new songs. I always love writing new material. That's kind of like therapy for me. I really enjoy doing that, and performing live is definitely something that I love to do. I've talked about this a little bit before, but I do get a little anxious before I perform live. I guess we're all human. But I definitely come out of my shell. After like 30 seconds into the first song, I'm like, yeah, like let's go. But I do get a little anxious before, but once I'm up there, it's definitely an amazing experience. So I would say all of them, but for right now, maybe recording a little bit more. Tina from Grand Rapids, Michigan. What are your favorite flowers? I really like roses. I like white roses the best, I think. So I would say white roses, but I really like roses in general. Pink, red, so roses. Rose from Hamilton, Ohio. If I was to come to breakfast at the Sydney house, what is the specialty of the house? Well, my mom is an awesome cook. So I would say, for me personally, I love hash browns. So I would say my mom's hash browns, but probably pancakes. Pancakes and hash browns. Colleen from Naples, Florida. If you could pick one karaoke song, what would it be? Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood is definitely one of my favorite songs. I usually always do that for karaoke. But anything Miley Cyrus too. I'm a big Miley fan. I grew up listening to her, so. I really hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Please, I apologize if I'm not. Shani from Minnesota. I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. Can you do impersonations or accents? No, I'm sorry, I cannot. Hal from Richmond County, New York. Hi, Sydney, I'm a big fan. What was your inspiration for Chains? Hi, thank you. And I wrote Chains when I was in a relationship and I was putting the blame on the other person. And I knew that I was at fault too. And I guess that was just me admitting to them that I was wrong, no pun intended. And I kind of wrote it in order for me to move on from the situation, I guess. But the track was definitely inspired by Fall in Line by Christina Aguilera. Bishop Briggs I was listening to a lot at the time. Don't Blame Me by Taylor Swift was one of my favorite songs at the time. It still is one of my favorite songs, but at the time I was listening to that a lot when I was writing this. So I would say that was definitely an inspiration for me. I wanted to have something that was edgy and powerful at the same time. And that was kind of my initial inspiration for the track itself. But as far as the story, I guess I was kind of putting my pride aside to fix something that I cared about. And I think that that's really important. I'm definitely a stubborn person, and sometimes I don't like to admit that I'm wrong, but I think it's important and it's a part of maturing. So I definitely wrote this in order to help me move on, and I do that with a lot of songs. Writing is definitely therapy for me. And I usually write from my own experiences, or if my friends tell me a story, I'll write from their experience and I'll put myself in their shoes. But almost all the time it's definitely a personal story for me. So yeah. Monica from Toronto. When I get my picture with you, I don't know which pose to do. Any suggestions? Can you show me? Sure. So usually when someone's like, oh, like pose, and they take their camera out, I'll always go like, I always do that. That's like my go-to pose. So probably that one. But any pose you want to do, let's do it. Katie from Buffalo, New York. If you could be on a billboard in Times Square with anybody, who would it be and what would the theme be? I think Miley Cyrus or Christina Aguilera, and my theme would be glam. Janie from Pittsburgh. Do you wear glasses? No, I don't wear glasses. I'm actually the only one in my family that doesn't wear glasses. I do have reading glasses because there was a point in time where I was staring at my computer and my phone too much and I would get a headache, so I would just throw those on when I do strain my eyes a little bit. But I should wear them more often even though I don't. But I don't have glasses to see far distances, so reading glasses. Chelsea from Baltimore, Maryland. What website do you check out first thing in the morning? I think I would say Instagram. I mean, I definitely do check my email first thing in the morning. But if we're going to talk about like apps or websites, I mean, probably Instagram. Becky from Erie, Pennsylvania. Who has the nicest teeth and hair in your family? Well, my mom definitely has the nicest teeth. So hands down, she has the nicest teeth. But everyone actually really has nice hair. So, but teeth, definitely my mom. Sarah from Nova Scotia. What's the best picture you've ever seen of yourself online? I like the profile picture on my Instagram. I've seen that a few, attached to a few articles and stuff. So I think that one's probably my favorite. Abby from Grand Rapids, Michigan. What was your worst subject at school? Probably math. I was not a math and science girl. I tried. I actually enjoy science, but I'm just not the best at it. So I'm definitely more of an English girl and social studies, even though I can't spell. I can't spell at all. So, but I would say math just because I wasn't good at it. Christine from North Carolina. How many hot dogs and hamburgers would you have to grill if you had the Gordon family over for a barbecue? A lot. I do have a big family and we all love to eat, so a lot. Jill from Richmond, Virginia. If there's a swear jar in your dressing room, how much money would be in it? I was actually talking about this the other day. That's so funny. Too much money, and everybody around me agreed. They were like, oh, that jar would be overflowing. And I was like, Camila from Los Angeles, California. Do you believe in astrology? Yes, I am a Virgo. I do check my horoscope every day. I can probably tell you your sign if you told me your birthday and like a few things about like your traits, they call them. But yeah, I do. Alexa from Boston, Massachusetts. Flirt with Disaster is amazing. Can you talk more about the meaning behind it and your writing process? Well, thank you, Alexa. And yeah, so I actually wrote this as a letter to myself, I guess. In order to kind of remind myself that I was falling back into a bad situation that I was once in. And I guess I describe it as, I mean, sometimes people aren't always good for you. You might love them and you care about them, but they don't have your best interests. And that's kind of the situation that I was in. And I remember I was in the session and I was saying how I always see the good in people and I'm overlooking something that I shouldn't be overlooking, and I can't fall back into this kind of situation, and I know better than that. And I said, I guess that's what I get for flirting with disaster. And I was like, that sounds like a good line, and that's how the song kind of came. And the writing process, it did take a minute, honestly. The chorus did take a little bit to get right, but we finally got it right, and I'm super excited and I'm super happy about it. It's definitely my favorite song personally of mine, so I'm really proud of the track. Nancy from Denver, Colorado. What hair care products do you use? I use a lot of Tech Italy products, like the moisturizing sprays. I definitely love Nexus, so I use Nexus shampoo and conditioner. I use Joico. The Defy Damage shampoo and conditioner is probably one of my favorites. I do have dyed hair. I have colored hair, so I need a little moisture and help sometimes. And I also love Moroccan oil, so I'll use Moroccan oil, or I'll use a Moroccan oil hair mask and leave it on for like 10 minutes and then hop in the shower, which I love. That's probably like my favorite. But yeah, so I would say Tech Italy, Joico, Moroccan oil, Nexus. I also like shimmer lights if you have blonde hair or light color hair. I like shimmer lights. Laura from Hamilton, Ohio. What's your favorite song to perform live? My favorite song to perform live of mine would probably be Flirt with Disaster, or one that cannot be named yet, but you will find out soon. But I also really like to perform covers. Covers are really fun for me because I like to take songs that I love from my favorite artists and do my own little spin on them. So that's definitely something I love to do. So I would say Flirt with Disaster is probably the favorite of my songs, but I do like to do covers. Sabrina from Holland, Michigan. Will you tour this year? Hopefully. I would love to tour this year, but I'll keep you posted. Jenny from Nashville, Tennessee. What would your dream pimped out tour bus be? Glam. I'm gonna say glam for every answer. I definitely love glam, and probably a little studio just so I can make music while I'm on the road. Annie from Nashville, Tennessee. Favorite Pop-Tart? Probably Hot Fudge. I really also like cookies and cream. Cookies and cream is like my favorite flavor ever, like ice cream and stuff like that. But I would say Hot Fudge for Pop-Tarts. Penny from Jacksonville, Florida. If you were at an award show, what would you wear? Glam. Definitely something edgy, definitely something glam. But it would depend on the award show, but definitely glam. Taylor from St. Louis, Missouri. If you had to write a resume, what would you put down as your skills? I would say time management is definitely a skill of mine. I am very time conscious when I have deadlines and I have timelines and stuff. I am very on top of, I'm very ahead of the game. I always like to be like 3 steps ahead of me. If I have something that I have to do, even if it's in like 2 weeks, I'll have it spinning in my mind until I do it. So I like to just kind of get things off my chest and do a lot of things early. So I would say time management, and also probably, I am organized with my schedule. So I do have like a little planner, and I write down everything I have to do for the week. So I would say time management, and I do organize schedules. And so I guess I would say organized too. I'm organized. Amy from Boston, Massachusetts. What traits did you get from your mom and dad that are starting to pop out now that you're getting older? I definitely have my mom's intuition. So she's definitely very fast-paced, and she's definitely very quick-witted, and I definitely take that from her. But as far as my dad, I don't have patience all the time, but I will say that I do have patience when it comes to making decisions. So I won't really make a decision unless I haven't given it some thought. So I would say that I take that from him. Rose from Colorado. How do you manage personal life and stage life? So it could be hard, but my friends and my family, they completely understand that it is a lot of work and it's long hours, and without that, I wouldn't be able to do what I want to do. So I'm definitely very grateful for them, and I'm grateful that they understand that. So, but I always try to make time for the gym and spending time with my family and my friends, and I'm really happy that they understand. So they definitely support me 100%, and I'm grateful for that. Vincent from Warm Springs, Georgia. Do you have pets? Yes, I do. I have a dog. Her name's Cookie. She's a pointer and a lab mix, and she's great. She's gonna be 13. So yeah. And I think that is it. So I just wanted to say thank you for asking me questions and watching my Ask Anything chat. And I want to say thank you to iHeartRadio and thank you to Romeo for having me. And my new song is called Chains.